Hi, my name is Troy Anderson. I'm the owner of Anderson Training Systems. It's a fitness coaching business located in Tempe, Arizona. What I'm going to do is share with you today one of our kettlebell meltdown workouts. This workout in particular is combining a real foundational kettlebell lifting protocol called ladders, and that's a simple sequence of starting with a very low amount of repetitions and incrementally working up to a higher amount of repetitions. Pretty simple stuff. General protocol is to work from 1 repetition up to 5, and the rest and rest intervals don't typically matter too much. Along with that, we're going to take a look at what we call a burn session or a power circuit, which is basically a long circuit of exercises done in succession, back to back to back. Today we're going to run about 4 or 5 of those in back to back after we finished our primary lift using the ladders. So we call this format big iron burn, meaning big iron is what we're going to do a little bit heavier lift for more of a strength basis for our first lift, and then we're going to go move into our burn session or our power circuit, in which we're doing some ancillary or supportive exercises or drills to support that bigger movement. So our first exercise is just a heavy kettlebell deadlift. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to take this is not a terribly heavy kettlebell for me, but it's generally a heavy kettlebell. I'm going to take an 80-pound kettlebell and perform a deadlift for a sequence of ladders. The programming's in the manual, so you'll have that more than capable of have that at your hands. Simple technique for deadlift: feet shoulder width apart, weight on heels, glutes. We're going to try to move this weight from glutes, hamstrings. We're going to keep good posture. We always want to have good posture no matter what we're doing in movements. I'm going to go ahead and keep reminding you throughout, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the movement. All we want to do is really start by getting a crease at the hips, or really pushing the hips back behind us. As we get the hips back as far as we can go without leaning around in our back, we're going to start to change elevation just a little bit with our legs. A lot of weight on our heels. We're going to push up, good chest. Kind of push our chest in between our arms and lift off the ground. We're trying to squeeze our glutes from the very bottom. We're reaching back as far as we can. Squeeze glutes all the way up, reach back as far as I can. Squeeze glutes, reach back as far as I can. Analogy I like to use is you want to kind of simulate, even though it may be embarrassing if you actually did it, of kind of pushing into the material of your seat of your pants as if you're kind of trying to blow them out. So you're really going to reach back. That's kind of the sensation. So that's what the heavy kettlebell deadlift portion of this meltdown workout. Next, we're going to go ahead and move into a couple other drills. The first of which is what we call our renegade row push-up. Renegade row is another very foundational movement. We're not actually going to do the renegade row, but we're going to set up as if we were going to. I've got 2 equal-sized kettlebells here, and all I'm really going to do is get into a good solid push-up position with my hands on the bell's handles. I don't want to break my wrist over this. You'll get a lot of irritation and pain there. You want to take a firm grip, allow the arm to grip the bell to give you a nice solid foundation. It's also going to allow you to get vertical structure, or your bone structure, to help support you, as opposed to putting pressure on that bony structure. Going to be nice and tight in the core or trunk. You're going to squeeze your glutes. All we're going to do from here is everything the same as a push-up. We're going to let our elbows drift wide. We're going to let our chest lower down to the floor. If you want to go extended range of motion and really get deep down in there, if you're able to do that with good integrity without putting pressure on your shoulder joints, fine and well. You want the bells about as wide as shoulder grip. I had a little bit narrow there. And then you're going to come down and then just press straight back off. We don't want to sag in the middle and do these kind of push-ups. It's going to get a lot of tension in our upper back and lower back at the same time. We won't be able to do a very good repetition. So again, here's what it looks like. Nice and solid, good solid grip, no breaking of the wrist. We're going to push elbows wide, coming down, trying to get at least even with the handles, nice and solid in the trunk, no sagging, no tilting, tucking, nice, and then we're going to press back off. I'll show you a couple more good repetitions. And that's our renegade push-up. Next drill we're going to move into is what we call our kettlebell 2-point row. It's called a 2-point row because we just have 2 points of contact on the floor or on the ground, our feet. We're going to take a little bit of a stagger stance. The leg the leg behind us will be the same size as we reach down and grab the kettlebell on. Again, nice good posture no matter what. We're just changing body position, so we're going to hinge down at the waist. Nice and tall here. We got some space to row. All we're going to do is kind of row up and back. We're going to have the hand action as if we're kind of going to reach into our hip pocket. That's going to help us activate that upper back and that lat musculature a little bit more effectively. So here's what it'll look like. What we don't want to see, this is what I'll show you here in a second, is this type of action here. You're just going to start to develop some really bad movement patterns and some bad tension patterns in your upper back and neck, which most of you probably have some tension there already. So again, and back down. 2-point row, you can rest that hand on the knee, brace the trunk nice and solid. Again, just because we've changed body angle, we still have real good posture.